guys, so I'm just wanting to show you guys a little bit of hacks that I use around the barn and in the trailer and stuff like that. So I think that's a good thing to show people, because some people don't know, and some people might know these hacks and some people might not. So this is just for a little bit of both of you guys. But I'm going to feed the horses and stuff. It is like really cold right now and I'm freezing. So I'll get back to that in a second. Okay guys, so first hack, barn hack, whatever. Actually I haven't tried it. I've seen a lot of people do it and I've done something along the lines, but first hack would be waterless shampoo. Like, whoever thought? So it's like a stain remover for when it's cold outside and you can't bathe your horse. And then I also got a microfiber, or whatever it's called. I think it's called that, microfiber cloth, whatever. And this brand is called Sport Horse Essentials, and this is also their cloth. There's a logo right there. And they also sent me a ponytail, whatever you want to call those. I just stuck it on the bottle. So I'm actually going to try it on Wisdom because she's dirty and she's white or gray, whatever. And my cats are meowing because they're so hungry. They act like they're hungry. I swear, they're like the fattest things I've ever seen. I could like put them in a hot dog bun and they would be like a bratwurst. Okay, so I'll get her out in a second. I'll show you. Okay, so you guys can see she's a little dirty right here on her neck and she's a little dirty right here on her chin. I'm sure she's dirty underneath there, but we're not going to take that off. It is a little chilly. So I'm going to actually try it right here on her face. So first I'm going to spray this ice. Then I'm going to take my cloth. Oh, wow. That's actually quite easy. You see the difference? Like, so here's that. That's what it looks like. It's like, and it smells really nice. So what the cloth does is obviously it like grips the dirt, but it also, like, this is not as wet as it was when I first sprayed it. It kind of grabs that water. So I'm going to clean this spot too. Let's fold this over, or fold it over. Let's spray. So, and then we scrub. Oh, wow. I didn't spray enough. Oh, maybe I did. But actually doing a better job than I thought. So, what do you guys think? Because look at her whole neck. It's dirty. Let me finish this and then I'll come back. So, hack number 2 is if you ever have had a horse that cannot keep a normal tail bag in their tail, either they take it off or it just falls off because their tail is like too short and won't stay in a braid either. I have a fix for you. So I have, when I first started riding, the person I rode with was always like, well, tail bag, braid and tail bags are always really difficult to do, blah, blah, blah. Well, I found it the easiest and actually the cleanest tail bag to deal with. So Everclear is the main reason I did get into braid-in tail bags, because his tail is short and would not stay in a braid, so it wouldn't stay in a normal tail bag. So I have found, and I don't mean like the cloth material like braid-in tail bags, because those attract literally everything. And I'm not sure exactly what brand these tail bags are, but I'll show you. I have Everclears off right now because I'm about to put it back in. So they obviously have like not drawstrings, but they are like tie laces things for the top of the tail. And then hold on, let me get in where there's a little better lighting. Okay, so this is the whole toe bag. They have the little tassel things at the bottom. And then, obviously, I have a pretty long one. And it doesn't say the brand on here. And I cannot remember, because I just bought the turquoise one for Wisdom, because I, really like those. Not real sure what the brand is. But I did buy them at Teskey's here in Texas. It's in Weatherford, Texas. And obviously there's multiple braid and tail bags, but to me, I find the easiest one is this stretchy, like, I guess it's like a maxi. I don't know. There's a hole in that. Whatever. But they do seem to keep, like, so tail bags, like normal tail bags, which I have a lot of them because I was like, oh yeah, tail bags are good for the summertime, you know, normal tail bags. Mine get sand in them and dirt in them so easily. And then obviously when you get sand in the tail bag, it's a lot easier for it to get in than it is to get out. So it makes the tail all nasty and it's a lot less shiny. So I actually would prefer to use these, even though they might take a little longer to put in, than to use a normal tail bag. Hey, sorry, I had a phone call. But I actually went ahead and put Everclears back in. There's a billion videos on the internet on how to put these in. But mine has the full pockets, no Velcro, no nothing. It's full maxi. So I actually, at the end of them, I tie knots in them because they drag the ground and their tails don't go all the way to the end, because I have like extra long ones because it makes it look like their tail's longer. Also, another hack, if you want your horse's tail to look longer, just buy a braid and tail bag, and it's like the best thing ever. Some people use tail bags, like, or tail boots. Sorry, I was like mixing all the words. And I have just found those to not be like very pretty after so long, and like my horse's tail being scrunched up. I don't know. I like the fact of this braid and tail bag. I mean, it's easier. Like, why not? And if you tie it in correctly, so I put a knot, I like wrap it, double wrap it, and I just knot it a few times. It doesn't damage the hair at all, knotting it. And like I said, hers has a knot in it too. And they come in all sorts of colors. They come in like tricolors. They come in like two color. I mean, they come in all sorts of things. So sometimes it's actually better. They come in more variations than a normal tail bag. So, right. And you guys, I tried some of that stuff on her nose. I'm going to post pictures on my Instagram and on my Facebook of the changes of what it did, because I actually love that stuff. Okay, so I was talking about last night about that waterless shampoo, and now that it's warmer outside and they don't have their blankets on, I noticed she has a big spot on her butt. Let me get the stuff and then I'll show you. Okay, so here's her spot. Obviously, it comes a little bit off with the brush for the top stuff, but she still has that staining underneath that doesn't come off with the brush. So, there y'all can see it. Let me set the brush down. So, I'm going to spray the area. And it doesn't really need to be drenched, but it needs to be sprayed, obviously. Then I'm going to take my rag. And I'm going to just rub it in those spots. You can literally just watch it go away, like, literally right before your eyes. Not even really scrubbing. I didn't really get this bottom area. Okay. So, not really having to scrub. I'm just wiping where the area is. And then, let me just show y'all. So, look how much different that is. I mean, like, for her being a white horse, that's obviously a big difference. Oh, she's gonna fart for you. So, there's a great example for y'all. Okay, so I got some more hacks for you. Today, it's gonna be while I'm riding. So, if you have a horse that struggles with, like, flexing, or they just, like, would rather not flex, or they don't flex as well, and this is very easy, and I'm sure a lot of people know this, but treats always help. So, she already knows wisdom. She already knows how to flex, but she was taught this trick first from the girl that trained her to do barrels, and we went from a reining horse to a broodmare to barrel horse. So I'm gonna start right here. Oh. So I am carrying treats with me right now in my phone pouch, because who has treat pouches? They just throw it in their phone pouch. And I'll show you guys a video of how I'm going to do it. Okay, so here she is. So she sees the treat, and I pull her all the way to my foot, then I give her a treat. And then she relaxes. And then you start using the rein. Oh. Whoa. So I'm gonna pull her lightly and then treat. Good girl. Just like that. Okay, so here's another hack that I find out that not many people know. So if you have a horse that is prone to ulcers, like stomach ulcers and stuff, I have found out that instead of buying ulcer guard or anything like beyond that, like horse related, go to Walmart or like your local grocery store and buy a gallon of aloe vera juice for like $3 a gallon. And it lasts you a whole lot longer. And all you got to use is like not even half a cup a day. And also, if you keep them constant supply of forage to eat, if they're not turned out, like a hay net, if you tie up a hay net in their stall or something, or if you're able to load up something in their stall, like an old barrel cut out or something, and load it up with hay, so that way they can eat it all day long, it helps them not get ulcers. So another few hacks that I'm going to just explain before I show you guys. So hack number 1 can go 2 ways, which we'll also kind of talk about hack number 2. It's very similar. Sorry, the sun's like being stupid. But so hack number 1, if you ever have seen the shoe racks, well, I guess you can do any shoe rack. So if you ever seen the shoe racks go on the back of doors, or that hang from like a bar, so the ones that hang from the bars just go straight down. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. And then the normal shoe racks that hang on the back of the door are great for your polo wraps and your boots. Your bell boots can be stuck in there, but they're not as easy to be like stuck in there, I guess. But I actually have one of my old shoe racks, the ones that hang from a pole that goes straight down with all the little like slots, in my tack room in my barn. Because for one, I have boot bags, yes, but boot bags stay on the floor, and to keep them organized, and since this shoe rack is see-through, I can see what I'm looking for. Terrible sun. I can see what I'm looking for whenever I can't find something like that. Whatever I'm looking for. So usually I like I don't have to like turn it around and whatnot. So I love that. So another way you can do it in your tack room in your barn, if you'd like, if you have wall space, Velcro, like thick Velcro, like thick strips. I guess you can use little strips, but it's probably cheaper to buy a roll of big, thick, and the harder side of the Velcro. I'm just gonna let the subject say. The harder side, like the one that's more hard, like the soft side's not gonna do it. So if you have the hard side Velcro, which it'll probably come together, but then you'll just end up with a bunch of soft Velcro. So you place it to the wall, and then your sport boots can go to like Velcro to it because it's soft. So it Velcros to it in the wall. So actually, like I've seen lots of people do it more in their trailer. So that's another thing. I actually have not done it yet. I have been planning to, and I have been so busy. To buy that thick Velcro, because y'all have seen my tack room in my trailer, there is no room. So I can either put it on the door or I can put it on my wall, because a boot bag takes up so much space. And I say so much space because my tack room is tiny. Normally it wouldn't take much space. I used to always carry a boot bag because I don't just want to throw them on the floor, whatever, because I just like hate having to clean them. But Velcro on the walls or on the door will hold them. Like if you guys look it up, lots of people actually do it because it's cheaper for for one, and it does not take up much space because not much stuff goes on your walls. The things I know that go on your walls in a tack room, like my tack room, would be saddle pads. So in my case, I have a lot more room on my walls than I do in the floors or anywhere else. So that's technically my 2 hacks that I'm going to discuss before I show y'all. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you what I was talking about with the shoe rack. So this is what I was talking about. I have a bunch of stuff in it, but you can see I put my polo wraps in here. I usually even carry these wraps. I do not have any bell boots in here, but this is what I'm talking about. And it's so roomy, has tons of room, and it just has little hooks on it to hang from. Oh, it's not hanging, but they hang from a pole. That's what I'm talking about. And it comes with plenty of spots for it to work. Okay, so here's another hack. So a cheaper way than buying blanket racks when you're constantly having to take them on and put them back on, or take them off and put them back on. I made these from PVC pipe, as you can see, and then connectors. They have horsehair connected to them, and then they just have like these mounts, so they're able to turn and twist, whatever you want to say, and it helps them air out where they're able to just sit up here, you know. Then it's a lot cheaper than buying one, because the connectors are only like $1.39 to 99 cents each. And then the PVC pipe, if you buy lengths of it, obviously, and cut it to whatever length you like, then it works. And these can fold up against the wall if I need to keep space. So I love these things. So I'm coming back to you guys with another hack. You know when you haul your horses in a trailer and they get those silver spots on them, especially lighter colored horses, it's always a pain in the butt. So I have a solution. This one it's already slit and stuff down, and it's already like cut. It's not very long. So let's see if I can get it on. So it always rubs. It's slid in right now because it's just easier. So let me slide it out. So they always get it right here. So I'm going to stretch this on here. So this is actually my first time trying it, and it's obviously doesn't come all the way. If you want to, you can wrap this, I'm sure, in vet wrap. From the ends to be covered up, and then like this one, this one has a bar. Not all of them have bars, so not real sure on that. But in this, if I wanted to, I could just put one over the top of this. But I'm not real sure where. Like sometimes it rubs more back here, so I guess I could. But this is kind of what I have seen people do, so I'm going to test it out today. Okay, so I just put the other one right here, and this is where I'm going to assume it rubs him the most, is on this spot, because it is farther back on his butt. So I'm going to put this on here, and we're just going to test it out. Sometimes this gets his tail, but I've heard if you keep it clean, like if you wipe it down, it shouldn't be as bad. Not real sure how you would get this to not be so. Okay, so now he's in here, and I can see exactly where he stands, so I've just put it right there, and that should work. I'm hoping it works. Hey guys, so I have another hack for you guys. This is more like a show slash like competition, rodeo, whatever hack. So especially for the winter time, horses are always getting, like when you braid their hair, like the roots are always dirty. They always show dirt and they don't look as shiny. So here's my tip to you. Braid the day before or 2 days before, and take, let's see if I can find it. It's the Cowboy Magic Detangler, or whatever that's called. I'm not sure where it's at. But you take that detangler and you like load it up on the roots. Like when they're, make them look cleaner, or even when they're freshly clean. So then if you do get too much oil and it is a day out, then they can still build up some of that dirt, and so it still looks natural and doesn't look like you loaded a bunch of oil on it. But when I'm braiding, I like to take a whole bunch of it and like wrap the first strands, like the top of the strands, and rub my fingers in the roots. And then they will still look neat if you did them the day before or like 2 days out, especially if you're staying at the show. So let's see if I can see her. So here's her braids. I did them 2 days ago. Put oil in them. They still look really nice. I don't have a show, but I like to do that this time of year because their hair, especially her hair, because it's so dark, looks so nasty. But she's begging for food and treats. But like I said, that is like the perfect thing to do, especially this time of year when you can't always wash their hair because it's like cold outside. So I love to do that. Hey guys, I'm back with another hack. I cannot show you guys this hack, unfortunately, because it is cold and it requires like washing the horse and whatnot. So, a tip for keeping a tail white, besides purple shampoo or Quicksilver, whatever, besides that, is if you take baking soda, mix it with your shampoo, any shampoo, it doesn't matter, and let it sit on the horse's tail for 15 to 20 minutes. Then, when you're rinsing the tail, rinse it in vinegar, like white vinegar. It doesn't matter like percentage or anything, just vinegar, white vinegar. And your horse's tail, the acid helps break off that the stuff that's really built up on there, just like when people clean their dreadlocks from built up. That's exactly what you would be doing with the horse's tail. It's like the same mixture, just I think people when they clean out their dreads use apple cider vinegar, but white vinegar is what I would use instead of apple cider because it's not dreadlocks, it's horsehair. But that is another great hack for getting the dirt buildup off of your horse's tail or mane, like you do on their mane. It is a lot harder because you can't like with the tail, you can bring a bucket of like vinegar and like dunk it, but you can't really do that with mane as easily. But you could probably still like rinse it off somehow, like pour it on there. But that is another hack that I can recommend. You would get a pretty good result, probably just as good as purple shampoo. Maybe I can do a little tester on the end of the tail, because it's okay if their legs get wet, because it's okay warm today, but it still gets colder at night, and I don't want them to be wet, like duh. But that I can maybe do a little tester, like at the end of the tail, like separate it in half and do the baking soda and whatnot, and show you guys on Wisdom. Her tail is pretty clean, I do have to say, because I have been keeping it in a braided tail bag, as you guys have seen in the other hacks before this, that I've been keeping hers in a braided tail bag, because in the wintertime I cannot wash them as much. So that is just a tip. So I will come back with y'all maybe with an example. Okay, I have another hack for you guys. I know you guys are like, get over with these hacks. So, you know the extra hair at the bottom of the hair, like above the withers, that usually doesn't go in a braid because it's so short, it's like the new growth or whatnot. So, this is what I do. I'm not saying that you have to do it, but it helps me, especially it doesn't bother me when I'm saddling because it doesn't like fold over and whatnot. So, on both of my horses that I ride consistently, I want to show you. I actually just trimmed hers. So you can see it just stops at her last braid. You can see it has been freshly trimmed. And I know you're like, oh my God, that's a lot. But the longest it gets is usually like this, putting against my face, that long. It usually doesn't get long enough to braid. So then when I saddle and like it sits, you know, right about here so it doesn't push that hair up, you know, that's underneath there. So that's a head. I also do it with Everclear, being that, especially since he's a little bit higher withered. Can't really see because he's so big, but let's get on the side with the braids and make a baby tail. So cover the sun, not really. Okay, but here's the end of his braid, and then there is where I trim it. His looks odd. Not real sure why, but that's another hack for, like, I don't know if y'all are like me or not, but for like when that bothers you, just cut it off. Like, it doesn't, there's no reason to stay there. And another thing, it also makes your horses look neater. So just like a bridle path, it makes your horses look neater. So